This over here is one of the most ridiculous, amazing, frustrating, and best devices I have ever used. Now, if you are thinking about doing some live streaming, this over here is the Rode Videocaster Killer, 8 Mini Pro Killer. There is nothing like this device out there, and it's got so much more than you will ever need. Now, I have been using this for the last couple of months. I've done over 20 live streams with it, tried to use it different times. It's had a few software updates ever since I got it, and I finally have my full experience of this Yolobox Ultra. Now stick with me, and then you'll realize why this is so special and there's nothing like it out there.
This video is brought to you by AMD Ryzen Pro. Here's 4 things that make AMD Ryzen Pro stand out. Number 1, local AI inside your device. Speed up your workflow with the help of the integrated NPU. Number 2, security. Ryzen Pro has a multi-layer security system in hardware and software level, making sure that your data is safe at all times. Number 3, efficiency and battery life. Some of the devices have up to 29-hour battery life. And number 4, performance. AMD boasts of up to 69% faster performance in ProSci and Office productivity compared to competition at almost half the power draw. Here's the thing, if you're not sure about AMD Ryzen Pro laptops, go and try it out for free through the links below. And if you're interested in learning more about AMD Ryzen Pro and what it offers, go check out our dedicated video on the topic, also linked down below. Thank you AMD and Ryzen Pro for sponsoring this part of the video.
If you are not familiar what this is, then in essence, this is a live streaming device. And it's kind of a mix of 8 Mini, Videocaster, and then your whole PC together, because you can stream with this without any PC to all of the platforms, and something like the Restream platform where you stream to multiple platforms at the same time. It's all built into this, and it's so powerful. Before I'll show you all the ports and what they do, I want to show you like the 3 ways you can use this device. Firstly, on the very left, you've got live streaming, which I've done lots of them in here. So before you go into the live streaming on different bits, you have to make an account on the Yolobox website or in here as well. Basically, that account allows you to save certain things on your online account and then pull certain graphs or some kind of overlays onto here, as well as stream to multiple platforms and so on. So when I'm going to enter the live stream mode in here, I'm already signed in. You can see I've done lots of different live streams before. And basically these are ended. And in order to do that again, all I have to do is kind of duplicate it or press this little button on the corner there, and I can just start a new one. But since I had already some cameras and settings set up in there, I'm just going to duplicate the last one, and I'm just going to create it, and then I click on it, and then I've got this all here entered. So as you can see, I've got my HDMI in, which is plugged into there. I've got some already videos loaded onto the SD card, so I can pull them out, or I can put this USB camera onto this cameras. I can stream to multiple platforms. So even if you want to stream to separate YouTube channels, you can log into yours. And if I just press go, I can set where it's going to go, public, unlisted, or private. I can stream it onto there straight away from this device without connecting it to your computer. And then you can add someone else's live streams there as well, or plus there's different ways how you can RTMPS or SRT or whatever, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, you can stream it everywhere. Now you might be saying, but what about Instagram and some of the other platforms? Well, that's where the other bit of the live streaming comes in, because this in essence is horizontal and vertical live streaming platform. If you go to vertical streaming, basically, so now, even though it's live separately, it's exactly the same way. I can just live stream to Instagram, TikTok. I can use it vertically as well. That's the point. I haven't done any Instagram live streams because it's not really my thing, but just so you know, it is completely possible with this device, because the Yolobox company, they have separate devices for kind of vertical streaming and then horizontal streaming. But when you get the Ultra, then you have 2 in 1 and you can do everything. Basically, this is everything mashed together. Then the third mode is this monitor mode. And monitor mode is when you don't want to stream, but perhaps want to use this as like an 8 Mini Pro, where you connect it with a USB cable to your computer, and then you have all of these things. You're streaming maybe from your computer. You're not using this streaming service here, but you can still change all the camera angles. You can add it all onto here and have some, pre-overlays over it or lower thirds or whatever. Now, what makes this device so special is this here. This can stream 4K video into multiple platforms. And that is not what ATEM Mini nor Rode Videocaster can do. They are only 1080p devices because they don't really stream from their own device, if I'm not mistaken. This can do it in 4K. So if you click on there, I can select 4K and it can just stream 4K. I've been streaming lots of 4K videos in here, and if you go to the settings on the right side here, we can fine tune what bitrate, what codec we are actually streaming as well. So if we go stream mode, we can do the multi-streaming service, which means that it sends firstly your video to Yolobox cloud, and then from there it gets distributed to Facebook and all the other platforms, or YouTube or different channels. Stream encoding settings. As you can see, you can change a bitrate all the way to 35 kilobits per second, 30 or even 60 frames per second, H.265. Now bear in mind, certain platforms don't support H.265 like Facebook, so you'll have to do H.264 if you send it to multiple platforms and so on. Now, while it can actually live stream, this has a recording option in here as well. So if you wanted to, you can record every single video input separately onto the device or onto an external SSD. So all you have to do is have one of these SSDs, plug it into this port in there, and then you can just record onto this. I've tried it, it works, it's absolutely fantastic. You can select if you want the program and all the different ports separately, even the USB 2, which is this webcam here connected to the USB. You can save them as well. And as you can see, it can H.264 or 5 kilobits, frames per second, everything, recording limits, anything you want, it can record to it as well as a backup for later editing, something like that. You can customize pretty much anything in here. I mean, from the video layouts, for example, picture in picture, if I go full screen here, you can see I can have my main camera here in a corner, and then the side camera, what you can see in there, picture in picture. You can customize it however you want, side to side, or have them separately. There's so much that you can do with it. You can add your own videos to it. If you have like a sponsored segment you want to add, like I've done in the past, just put it on the SD card. I can play it back from there and add it onto this one. If I add a video source, here's how many different options you can add. Bear in mind, there is an NDI here as well, so you can wirelessly connect certain devices into here, kind of like the OBS Ninja video we did quite a while ago. All these different customized layouts, and when you go into it, you can customize it even more to your liking. Do you want it to be not exactly in the middle, one side, one bigger than smaller, everything that's doable. The cool thing is, it's not just HDMI inputs in here, but also USB. There's 2 USB ports here, and if you wanted to, you can add any USB webcam. As you can see, I've got this side webcam, this DJI Osmo on the side here, and just by connecting with a USB cable Type-C to Type-A, as you can see, the videos coming into here, and it just works. And if I wanted to, I can have the side cam track me, because this is DJI Osmo. I can utilize the camera's own features and send it onto there if you wanted to. Then moving on, there is a comments section in here, which is super cool. All the different platforms that I've connected to it, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, whatever. If you're streaming to all of these platforms, and let's say some people comment from YouTube, some Facebook, some from Twitch, if you have it here all open on your screen, it's very hard to keep track how to do it. But this device here, if you've connected your account, will pull automatically all the comments onto here, and you'll see them all in one place. And if you wanted to, you can highlight the comment. Go have a look at some of my live streams that I did for the Black Friday, for example. People were asking questions. I can highlight the comment. It's actually going to go live onto the screen, so people know which comment I'm highlighting, which is really cool and really nice to engage with the audience. There is an auto switch built in. So let's say you're running a podcast setup or some kind of multi-camera setup where you have multi-cameras like these in here. You can set up an auto switch where this guy is automatically going to switch. So let's say you're a one-man team and you want it to switch close-ups, wide angle, B-roll of something, this side, left side, right side, top-down angle. It can switch automatically. You can set it out however this goes. Also, it can video follows audio. You can set it up. So let's say one interviewer is going to speak, this camera is on. Then the person who the questions are asked from starts speaking speaking, boom, another camera comes on and it switches between the wide and that person. This is super, super cool. There is also a replay function in here. If you're streaming some sports games, you can have a source and select the replay of showing something back what just happened, and a score table. Now, I did a live stream with Ben Kaiser about laptops, and we did a little, I wanted to test this score, thing as well. It's really cool, actually. Very easy to customize it. If you're streaming some sports events, for example, you can add the score live so people can watch it and change everything, customize however you want it to be there. This is background music, and this is added recently. A couple of days ago, there was a software update for this, and this was added, but basically now you can add some music to it from your SD card, obviously, and have some files in here, and you can add background music while you're doing live stream. Then you've got an audio mixer settings, and here you have all the different audio inputs, because through HDMI, obviously we've got audio as well. So if you've got some camera microphones connected to the camera that also send the video out or the audio out through there, you can select, and if you want to, have it switched on or not. So as you can see, HDMI 2, which is the side camera, I can see that there's some, the onboard camera microphone is coming onto here, but I've turned it off, or on automatic, the HDMI sources don't have audio on. But if I wanted to have this on the live stream as well, I just tap on, and you can see that the onboard camera microphone will come on as well, which is this angle here. When talking about audio, I found something very, very interesting. There is USB-C port on the bottom there, and you can connect anything to it. So I connected this Rode wireless micro receiver onto that, and check this out. So if I'm gonna pick one of these up here, and I can see it's connected over there, and if I scroll down, you can see that it's USB 3. Can you see? So this USB 3, which is this bottom one there, I'm actually picking up audio from this angle. So I can use this port to connect any of the USB-C audio devices. So if you have a Rode Podcaster Pro, for example, you can connect it through USB-C or USB-A, I believe, as well, and get lots of different audio sources put into there as one source as well. But now I can use even this one here, and just to show you that this is working. So if I'm tapping on it, you can see it works. See, no other sources are coming on, but this. There we go. This is so cool. I'm super excited. And if you have another person, just give one of these to another person, and it just gives you so much flexibility how you can use this device. You might have already some audio equipment and you're thinking, ooh, this might work with that, and it's super cool. I just found it out right now, and I thought, I'm just gonna try it and see if it works, and it actually works. I'm buzzing. But here you can also select which ones you are monitoring, or which ones you want on the monitoring mix. Unfortunately, there is only one headphone set in there where you can monitor this, but if you want to monitor certain things separately or certain channels, you just click that monitoring or like headphones icon there, and then you'll see them or hear them in your mix. You think I'm done? Oh no, there is invite guests to the list. This is another amazing feature. Okay, so basically there is like a Google Meets built in. Let's say you want to have an interview with something like I did with Ben. Put Ben's email there. We did the live stream. They get a link. They can log in onto a browser, on their laptop, whatever, and then it pulls it in here onto a video source, and then you can do with that guest in the video source whatever you want. They can hear everything that's going on live, and it's just absolutely amazing. The only downside I had when inviting the guests on is I wish there was a little bit of a better way to manage the backstage and live way. So there was no way for me to talk to Ben backstage without me having him live. I wish there was somehow a feature on maybe browser or something like that. I can see him live, so I can still talk to him, he can see it, because if I wanted to see him, I had to have him live here, which was a little bit unfortunate option there. But I think YOLO Live is going to change that, because there's a huge community behind that, and they're improving it all the time. Then obviously your different platforms and where you want to stream. Then you've got overlays. Now you can add some that are already built into here. Time overlays, web overlays. I mean, there's so much to it. Social overviews, video overlays, lower thirds, YOLOcast overlay, and you can add your own, to it. There's so much that you can do with this. I've created this starting kind of a overlay where it goes over, and I'm just going to put that on before going live so people see, okay, it starts in 3 minutes. I can easily customize this timer, plus you can add your own background music. So if you long press on it, you go customize, and you can see okay, fonts, everything with it, background music, add something to your SD card, put it onto that so people can enjoy some cool tunes while you're preparing for the live stream. Then there's also network bonding, which is this feature here, and that is the only kind of paid extra feature feature that is on this device. This device has an RJ45 cable, so you can have your internet cable just run into there and you can have wired connection, or you can stream wirelessly through Wi-Fi. Connect this device to Wi-Fi, because this is basically an Android tablet. Connect it to your Wi-Fi network and you can just, live stream over Wi-Fi. Exactly the same. There is also a SIM card slot on the bottom there. And how this network bonding works is basically, let's say something happens with your Wi-Fi. Like, are you going to drop frames? You can then fill the gaps of the dropped frames or dropped internet connection over mobile network. So you can connect two of these networks together, whether it's wired or mobile or wireless Wi-Fi or mobile, giving you the most stable live streaming performance. Now, you do have to pay for this extra because, YoloLive's going to have to do some special things on their server to actually pull the data from both of these things and actually make sure that all the frames and everything's lined up and blah, blah, blah. But it is an awesome feature for some people who need just really, really stable streaming. Now, you've seen that I've got this powered and plugged in here and I'm charging this, but you can actually unplug it, and this device is on its own just on battery, and the battery lasts for a long time. Now, I've streamed like 2-3 live streams for a couple of hours and the battery was maybe 50%. So in my experience, you can stream between 6 to 12 hours, something like that on it, depending like what you're doing and brightness of the screen and how many devices are plugged in and how many devices need to be charged and so on. But the battery is solid. If you want to stream indefinitely, then you're going to have to plug in a charger through that USB-C port there. Bear in mind, it'll have to be 45 plus watts, so not any kind of a USB-C cable or just getting 5 volts will help you, because it needs enough power to actually power this whole device. And unfortunately, there's no charger included with this device. Let me show you the ports so you can actually know what's going on in here. On the bottom, we have a Type-C for charging, line in and mic for audio, headphones for monitoring your audio, Type-C for either connecting this to the computer or adding any other input source of this USB-C. If you want it to be an output source and you want to use this as just a capture card, basically a USB-C capture card for your PC, then you'll have to change this input source on the settings, and then it will become a video output instead of input, if that makes sense. The only downside about that is that unfortunately, when you use this as a webcam through this USB-C, it's only going to be 1080p. Even though it can stream 4K, you'll never get 4K signal out of this over the USB-C, which is a bit of a shame, because I was hoping that if I connect this to my OBS, for example, OBS has a very nice, studio and live preview. I can have this as kind of like a capture device, but then do all the switching on this device. I can't do that really in full quality. I'll have to up-res it to 4K because it's not a full 4K signal, it's only 1080p. We've got a SIM card slot and an SD card slot in there. The SD card is very well hidden in there, so it's not hanging out, so you don't need to worry about like snapping it or pulling it out or accidentally coming out. It's very nicely tucked into there. Power button or sleep button on there. On the right side, there's nothing in there. And then finally on the top, we've got 4 HDMI inputs, 1, 2, 3, 4, for whether computers, any device you can put into there. So if you want to have your computer, for example, into here and your main camera, I can put picture in picture into there. That's how we live streamed, for example, and I have my computer screen onto there and me on the screen. I can live stream it. Super cool. HDMI out, so if you want to have a bigger monitor or send it to another device, for example, if you wanted to, you can daisy chain kind of connect them together, have HDMI out and another Yolobox, and then put it into that HDMI 1, and then you can have even more switching going on. If you wanted to, you can be very clever with the HDMI out. Once I streamed in a way where I use this in a monitoring mode, HDMI out into my A10 Mini Pro, one of the HDMI inputs, and then I had other inputs on the HDMI, so I could mix and match, and you can extend, in essence, these HDMI inputs if you use this cleverly. Then you have got the RJ45 port here, so you can connect your internet to it, very stable connection, and then just stream live. And then finally, we've got 2 USB 3.0 ports for connecting any devices you want, whether webcams, audio devices. It will recognize them and then add them onto there. Let's talk about the downsides, or some of the things that maybe I'm not so fully happy with. Even though you can connect your Bluetooth keyboards to it and Bluetooth devices to it if you wanted to, unfortunately you can't monitor audio over Bluetooth, but I wish I could. imagine doing this and having it there. I don't have to run a wire to my head. I could just monitor the audio over this. Or if you could connect multiple Bluetooth devices to this, I could give Bluetooth headphones to, let's say, 2 of my people who I'm interviewing, and they can just monitor their own audio without actually having any wires. They can just hear what they're saying, they can hear the mix, we can know that I'm in the right distance with the microphone and so on. I wish I could use them. Second thing is the charger is not included with it. So even though you have a USB-C cable, if you want to charge it up, you're going to have your own charger. It's not included in the box. And then the final thing is the live streaming kind of a workflow. The way this works is I can't add a live stream. Let's say I make a live stream on my YouTube channel, or let's say you do it on a Twitch or whatever, and you set all the settings up on the computer. I can't add the live stream like kind of option onto this stream here, like over these like plus settings. The way I'll have to do it is I'm gonna have to connect my YouTube settings. Let's say it's gonna be unlisted live stream. I'm gonna press done because my YouTube channel is connected to this one. Now it sends it to there. What I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to go live. Okay, got it. I'm gonna go live. It's going to tell me if I want to record while live streaming or not. I've set the record off. I'm going to press start. And as soon as it starts, I'm going to have to pause it. Now what happens is it's created an event or like a live stream on my YouTube channel. And then I'm going to have to go onto my channel and then start adjusting all the settings, making the thumbnails, making sure that the monetizing is on. Because on here, I can't set the monetizing on, and the monetizing is off by default. So when you start streaming, the monetizing is not going to be on. If you're thinking, flipping heck, I've made some big dough on these live streams, you've realized, oh my goodness, it was never on. So what I'll have to do now is, even though I've created this, now I have to go onto the computer, fix all the settings and so on. I wish I could do it the other way, meaning I could create the live stream, I could create all the settings and everything live, and then come here and then press go live, and then it goes onto all of these settings. And you might be saying, well, why don't you just create it on YouTube and then use it one of the RTMPS settings and then, put your stream key in here and then stream it there. The downside for that is because if you're using the RTMPS settings, then you're not going to be connected with the comments. The comments are not going to be pulled in. The comments are pulled in only if you connect your actual account to this device. So it's a little bit mixed here. I'll have to connect my YouTube account there, but then I still have to go log in online, or if you're doing it remotely somewhere, you're gonna have to go like on your phone, YouTube Studio app, and then adjust all the settings, maybe even a thumbnail and so on, upload it in there, which is not good if you want to schedule the stream. Let's say you want to schedule the stream on your computer, because you can't really do it here perfectly. You can if you press done here, and if you, let's say we make a new one, you make the title test and then you put the schedule in there. Let's say it's going to be on 5th of December or something like that in the time, and you put the cover photo on, then it kind of makes the schedule on your device, but you're still gonna have to go online and probably upload your thumbnail, because like you have to, or either like plug in your SD card and do it over here, which is, I see like how they're doing it, but the way I would like it to work, it's not quite as good. Now, the last thing is the price. This is not a cheap device, and if you're looking for something like this, there is nothing like this out there either. So this is a unique device in a unique environment, and highly recommend checking out the links in the video description below if you want to check out the latest pricing during the holiday season. They've got most likely some deals on, so you can get it a little bit cheaper. But would I recommend this device? I'm gonna say yes. This is so powerful, and the more you use it, the more you realize there's so much more how you can use it. There's so much more how you can customize it. You can get a full-on production suite and all sorts of crafts and fades, and the way video transitions work. You can customize everything in here, and nothing else like this is out there. Connect this to your Rode Podcaster, for example, and you can use this. It's absolutely incredible. I'm gonna leave this Rode wireless mic in the video description below as well if you want to pick this up. It's very, very affordable set of mics, dual mics by the way, that you can add for your iPhone, tablets, laptops, anything that has USB-C that can receive audio, and it's no bigger than your AirPods carry-on case. Is absolutely amazing. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the video description below. Bye bye.